The sons of Archaelis were still rising when the inheritance that would shatter and rebuild a life was delivered. On Earth, he had been nobody, just another forgotten engineer with debt, regrets, and a quiet desire to disappear. But on this golden desert world, surrounded by unfamiliar skies and the echo of starship engines, Karen Voss was declared heir to a fortune beyond imagination, and to two wives who looked at him not with desire, but with hope. Hope that he had no idea how to carry. His hands trembled not because of the alien wealth now in his name, but because of the shadow left behind by the one who entrusted it to him, Zeroth, the only true friend he ever had, and the one who had died saving him. Fire before we continue. If you believe kindness, loyalty, and second chances still matter in this universe, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Soul Moment Story. It really helps the stories reach more hearts. Fire Karen stood in the desert wind, the whispers of sand crawling across his boots, and watched as two blue-skinned women dressed in silver and ivory bowed their heads. Their names, Sarala and Ivana, were spoken softly by the priest of their clan. Karen felt sick, overwhelmed, and guilty beyond words. Zeroth had been a guardian, a mentor, and a brother. He had joked once that the Voss bloodline deserved a happier destiny, and Karen laughed because he didn't believe in destiny. Now Zeroth was gone, and destiny stood before him in living form. Ivana's silver eyes shimmered with sadness, and Sarala's lips trembled as if she might cry. They were not prizes. They were not rewards. They were widows of the bonds Zeroth had formed and protected, women who now looked to Karen not as a husband, but as a protector in their moment of loss. When the priest placed the imprint codes of Zeroth's fortune into Karen's palm, he didn't feel richer, he felt colder, like the desert wind had blown through the hollow space Zeroth left in his soul. The first days on Archaelis were unbearable. Karen couldn't sleep in the vast crystalline palace that now belonged to him. He avoided the two women, not wanting to violate their grief or pretend he earned them. But every corridor, every garden, every star map in Zeroth's hall reminded him of the friend who once sat beside him during long nights on Earth when his life felt meaningless. Zeroth didn't inherit Karen's weakness, he saw through it. He saw the man Karen could be if someone believed in him. That memory hurt more than anything. At dawn on the fourth day, Karen tried to leave, hoping to slip away unnoticed. But Sarala stopped him. She didn't speak. She simply held out Zeroth's old jacket, the one he wore during their last mission together. Her hands shook, her face twisted with grief, and Karen finally broke, not because of responsibility, but because someone else loved Zeroth with the same depth he did. From that day, everything changed slowly, not with romance, but with understanding. Karen began to talk to Ivana and Sarala, not as wives, but as people carrying the same unbearable pain. They taught him the ancient rituals of the Archaelian bond. He told them stories of Earth that made them laugh and stories of Zeroth that made them cry. He started helping in the community that Zeroth once protected, funding water shield expansions, repairing learning stations for young citizens, and personally working alongside the laborers though he wore the insignia of a ruling house. A rumor spread through the desert cities: the human heir was not soft, nor selfish, he was grieving, but trying. And the planet began to love him for his sincerity, but peace never comes unchallenged among the stars. The House of Varek, a rival clan whose leader despised Zeroth, challenged Karen's right to rule. They called him an outsider, weak, temporary, unworthy, and demanded a trial of succession. Karen had no combat skills, no noble blood, and no political power. The only thing he had was love, love for the friend who saved him, and love for the people that friend left behind. Sarala offered to fight in his place, but Karen couldn't let another life be risked for him. Ivana, holding his trembling hands, whispered that winning was not about strength, it was about purpose. The arena was brutal and ancient. Karen stood in armor that felt too heavy, heart pounding like thunder, expecting death. His opponent was a giant bred for cruelty. But when the battle began, Karen did not fight for inheritance, he fought for every second chance Zeroth had ever given him. He fought for the widows who believed in him. He fought for the people who now looked to him for hope. He fought for the men he used to be and the men he wanted to become. What he lacked in physical skill, he made up for in will. Every time he fell, he rose again. Every strike he landed came from grief, gratitude, and love. The crowd changed. They screamed his name. And when the final moment came, Karen had the chance to kill his opponent, but he chose mercy. That single act shifted the entire planet. The House of Varek was forced to yield. Karen not only won, he changed the tradition itself. The trial would never again require blood. He didn't just inherit Zeroth's fortune, he honored his legacy. The palace that once echoed with pain became a home, not because Karen claimed the women, but because they chose him. Love wasn't rushed or demanded. It was formed slowly over shared meals, shared responsibility, shared memories, and shared healing. Sarala became the calm voice that steadied him when his old insecurities returned. Ivana became the fire that urged him forward when duty felt too heavy. And together, without force or obligation, they built a family rooted not in ownership, but in devotion, respect, and choice. In the end, Karen realized Zeroth never intended to gift him power or wives. He intended to gift him purpose. Something he never believed he deserved until now. Standing on the palace balcony at sunrise, with 2 hands wrapped around his, with a planet finally safe, and with a heart no longer drowning in regret, Karen finally whispered the words he should have said long ago. Thank you, brother. Dizzy, if this story touched your heart, please like the video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Soul Moment Story, so more emotional stories can reach those who need them. Dizzy Speech Balloon special request, comment below, even across worlds, love and loyalty live forever.